Good evening, this is Panorama giving you the evening news. First the headlines. People shocked by the rationing of poor quality petrol and diesel at some selected oil depots. Appeal to authority concerned to ensure supply of quality. And Minister Y. Irabot's goodwill mission to None fails as people stay indoors following threat by NACN-IM. Now the news in details. The measures taken up by the state government to ease the severity of the non-availability of the petroleum products, including cooking gas in the state, in the wake of the economic blockade on the national highways, which was the lifeline of Manipur, have been appreciated by all sections of the society. However, the rationing of petrol and diesel at some selected oil pumps has created dissatisfaction and frustration among the people who waited in queues for hours since last night just to be told by the police on duty that the stock is over. Not long after the closure of PCTC oil pump for some hours following complaints by consumers that kerosene-like petrol was distributed yesterday. Consumers at Highway Petroleum Station at Dera, who had been waiting since last night, were shocked when they were given kerosene like diesel. The consumers said they will not accept such poor quality diesel and urged the authority concerned to look into the problem to ensure supply of good quality of petroleum products. Consumer Affairs Minister Y. Irabot's goodwill mission to None in Tamenglong district of Manipur returned back disappointed as people of None remain indoor after cadres of NACN-IM reportedly threatened not to cooperate with the minister. A jeep bearing registration number MNP806, which had accompanied the minister's trip to None, was also hijacked in front of a security convoy at None Bazar. Earlier, the Consumer Affairs Minister Y. Irabot had settled the matter of counter-economic blockade after being talked with certain civil society organizations under the initiative of Wangkai Kendra Development Committee. The minister was on his mission to the Hill district to find solution of the ongoing blockade along the national highway. Soon after the goodwill mission reached None Bazar at around 11 a.m., all shops and business establishments pulled down shutters and stay away from the minister. According to source, cadres of NACN-IM openly asked all shops and business establishments to down shutters as soon as the minister arrived. Leaving no option, the minister and his team took shelter at a rest house of the BRTF at None and later returned back to Imphal. A group of women folk who gathered to defy the minister's trip was however escaped without confrontation. It was at this time the jeep which accompanied the minister's goodwill mission was hijacked by suspected cadres of NACN-IM who came along in a motorcycle. According to our reporter, all the occupants of the vehicles were however set free. Minister Irabot, after returning to Imphal at a press conference, blamed NACN-IM for violating the ground rules of the ceasefire. He said his trip was a goodwill mission and was an attempt to end the suffering of the general public.
There is no question of successful or not successful. As we decided just to visit there, we visited nothing at all. We came back quite sharp. So it is successful in a sense. But our target is the only thing is to be decided immediately. Digital means this goodwill mission, at the same time the people is living here. And there are sometimes cheating and doing something. There was meeting yesterday, the village people of this None, but to the spot, these people, miscreant people came and they cheated.
Meanwhile, 340 loaded trucks including 40 oil tankers have reportedly left for Imphal from Jiribam today morning. 2 persons were killed and 6 persons injured in 3 separate road mishaps in different parts of the state today. 2 women were killed and 4 men sustained injuries when the bus they were traveling met with an accident on its way from More to Imphal. The mishap occurred between Kudeng Thabi and Loktauk Thong around 9:30 this morning. The bus bearing registration number MN047794 was carrying timbers from More. The deceased were identified as Namkoting Baite, wife of Pakang Baite of More Ward number 7 and Palkoching Haukip, wife of Jampao Haukip of Chalmol in Tangnupal. Both the bodies have been deposited to the Rims morgue for post-mortem examinations. In the second accident, one scooter-borne person was hit by a truck near Andro parking this morning. He was rushed to the hospital in a critical condition. The third accident occurred at Porompat, in which a person was injured. Agape Fellowship of Churches Thopal has asked the Naga bodies to call off their economic blockade on the two national highways. In a press statement issued today, the fellowship condemned the burning and smashing of vehicles by Naga Students Federation on the national highways. It said there must no dream for a greater Nagaland. RD Rizal is a 2-year-old boy from Musi Banyosi fishing village in Indonesia who chance smokes at least 40 cigarettes in a day. He got addicted to smoking after his father gave him a cigarette when he was just 18 months old. His mother Dinah says he gets angry and screams, battering his head against the wall if he is not given a cigarette. Rizal smokes a particular brand which costs her parents more than $5 a day. The officials of the village have offered to buy the family a car if he quits smoking. He weighs more than 25 kilograms and finds playing with other kids difficult. However, his father, a fishmonger, finds no problems with his son's habit and believes his son is quite healthy. The 46th death anniversary of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, was observed today at Congress Bhawan BT Road. The observance function organized by the Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee was presided by MPCC President G. Gaikhangam, Chief Minister Okram Ibobi, Speaker Dr. Budi Chandra Singh, Congress ministers, MPs, MLAs and MPCC office bearers were also present during the function. Floral tributes were paid as a mark of respect to the late Prime Minister. MLA Bijoy Koisam today inaugurated 3 market sites at Laikol Bazar, Kongba Nandaivam Bazar and Chongabi Bazar. Members of the Jila Parishad along with people from locality attended the function. The 3 bazar sets were built under the State Finance Commission with an estimated cost of Rs 7 lakhs. Speaking on the event, Bijoy Koisam said elected representatives of the people must work for the welfare of the people. He was of the view that developmental activities face hindrances in various forms due to lack of proper understanding between the government and the general public. Manipur People's Party had once more sent a memorandum to the Prime Minister of India on Tuesday seeking centre's intervention to the present crisis in the state. Earlier, the party had sent a memorandum on 17th of May. In the memorandum, Manipur People's Party MPP appealed to the Prime Minister to make necessary arrangements that will enable the central government to tackle the prolonged economic blockade called by hill-based civil organization including All Naga Students Association of Manipur Ansam against the Autonomous Districts Council elections that began yesterday. President of MPP Dr. Nimai Chan Luang stated that the state government had completely failed to open the ongoing blockade and as a result people in the state are facing acute shortage essential commodities in the state. 3 journalists of the state selected by private entrepreneur UNACO for Media Fellowship on Education Scenario of the state were felicitated today at Manipur Press Club. The 3 journalists, Jit Ningomba of ISTV News, Rishikesh Angom of Imphal Free Press and Salam Inaumata of Huyen Lanpao were given an advance of Rs 15,000 each to begin their assignment. The felicitation function was graced by MLA Bijoy Koisam as chief guest, while Managing Director of the UNACO and Ira Banta preside over the function. Former editor of ISTV News K. Madhu Mangol attended the function as guest of honor. Speaker on today's functions lauded the sincere approach of the UNACO to promote the spirit of journalism in the state. That's all we have for today's news, but before we end, the headlines again. People shocked by the rationing of poor quality petrol and diesel at some selected oil depots. Appeal to authority concerned to ensure supply of quality products. And Minister Y. Irabot's goodwill mission to None fails as people stay indoors following threat by NSA and IM. Thank you for being with us and see you tomorrow.